What is up, everybody? I have a fun little rundown for you today. A decent amount of stuff to cover, and we're going to pack it all into one gorgeous video. The thing I'm most excited for is, well, there's these renders going around of like, what would the Raptor Lightning be? You know, will it ever be, right? So I was a little underwhelmed with the one that I saw, and it got me thinking, like, what's a more realistic version? So I made my own render or Photoshop of a Tremor version of the Lightning, and I think it looks pretty cool. So we're going to talk about that, plus just some other news. Let's just get into it. We're gonna go down the list. So the first thing, this has been out for a little bit, but we haven't talked about it here yet. In the app for the upcoming F-150 Lightning, there's these drawings of that you could see here that show that there's going to be some sort of feature similar to Tesla's summon mode, where remotely you could make the vehicle pull out of a parking space maybe, or back into a parking space. It looks like they're already labeled, and we have the I forget what they're called, like I'm going to say icons. So those are what someone found in the app when they were digging through like the code folders, and it's pretty cool. So the thing that I would mention though, just because this is there, I just doubt that we're going to see it for at least a couple of updates down the road. So the reason it's newsworthy though is the fact that we are seeing more of the potential of the benefits of buying an EV, similar to buying a Tesla. These updates come out down the road, and you get sometimes, assuming Ford is going to be nice about it, you're going to get the features of the newest version, or at least some of those features, on a dated-ish model of the Lightning. So it's really cool to kind of see a sneak peek of that. Like, this is already a feature that Ford hasn't announced yet. We know it's going to exist based on these documents, and maybe it's going to be on the 2023 model, but because it's all over-the-air update enabled, they'll be able to send this stuff to the 2022 models if that's the case. So as long as Ford's going to be generous, like they should, like they're going to kind of have to be to keep up with Tesla. The fact that Tesla still updates their 5-10 year old vehicles, the old model of holding back features unless you buy the newest version, it's just not going to work if they really want to compete with Tesla. So I would hope that this is something that we'll see trickle down, and other cool features like this. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time talking about that, but it's just, kind of a cool insight to the future of once you buy electric. Up next, we have some EPA leaks about the GMC Hummer that I wanted to talk about real quick. We have where's the rundown here? So General Motors has submitted the EPA guidelines on it, and we have some numbers. First of all, I don't know how this went past me. The fact that it has a 200-watt motor, that is insane. Battery, it's huge. It's giant. All right, so let me just read the specs real quick. The truck will go 329 miles. That's its range, which is pretty great. But granted, it's got a 212.7 kilowatt hour battery. So that's a giant battery. That's like, one sec, let me see how big the Tesla Model Y battery is. Okay, this is interesting, right? So the fact that it gets the same range as the Tesla Model Y, around 320-ish, yet it is a 75 kilowatt hour battery on the Tesla versus a 212 on the Hummer, which just goes to show you how much weight that thing is moving. And let's talk about that, because I have that right here too. This thing is weighing in at 9,063 pounds, with the battery alone weighing 2,900, almost 3,000 pounds. That's a lot of thickness it's got to move. Like, it's big. It's a big boy. But it looks cool. Like, this is one of the vehicles that has grown on me a lot. It's just the only thing keeping it kind of off my radar is the price, the entrance point. Like, because even at like the gate, it starts at what, 70 or 80. But it's a cool vehicle. So I'm excited to start seeing these on the road. Hopefully that will happen, because fun fact here. So in December, when they said they were going to start delivering these, they've delivered a total of 1 in December. So hopefully they're starting to get them out to the masses, and I'm excited to see these on the road, is all I'm saying. Okay, let's talk renders. All right, this first one I have here is the one that's making its rounds right now. And I guess it's like underwhelming to me because they didn't use any of the signature pieces of the Lightning. So I don't know why it's getting the attention it is, but it literally just has like weird big wheels, which would never fly on an electric vehicle with all the open air there. It would just have terrible aerodynamics. And then this grill has like two chins on it. I don't know. It's just very underwhelming because they could have made something cool. I'd think an amber, like the signature kind of amber 3 dots. They still could have like, I don't know, they could have done something with it. The wheels like are just so out of this world. I don't know. I'm critiquing this, but I'm also about to show you one I made, which is not much better. So I am keeping an open mind when I say this. Ultimately, though, I just love the idea of maybe 2023 models, maybe 2024 models having the ability to add like some appearance packages on it. I love what you can do. Like you can buy even just like an XL or XLT regular ice version of the F-150, and you can buy aftermarket parts and stuff and make it look super cool and customize it. That's something that's going to be kind of harder to do on these upcoming Lightnings. So I would very much like to see at least a factory package ad and just like being able to customize them a little bit. I guess we'll have to wait and see on that because there's probably going to be some aftermarket stuff. There has to be, right? So let's move right along to, I found another one here. This one does, of course, this one's nice and simple. So what I like that they did is they just put beefier off-road tires because you got to be able to do off-road if it's going to have the Raptor name. And they got the skid plate at the bottom, which is also going to be important and probably really easy to do on an electric vehicle. So they added the skid plate. They have a nice narrow nose. This is the render that I like. If this was available, I would pay top dollar for it because this is cool. It's something I would own for a long time. You get kind of just like you get to put yourself in it a little bit different and stand out in a little ways. And I really like that. I've always been a fan of that Ford big black plain Raptor grill, and I think this does a great render of it. So I think this one is killer. I just like it a lot. The only problem with it, of course, is it would be what? Easily $100 and some $1,000 for this vehicle. So not only does it not exist, it will never exist, at least in my driveway, because that's just a lot of money. I don't know. I could buy 3 cars for that. Yeah. Actually, yeah, that's literally the cost of like 2 of my Model Ys for, yeah, it's just not happening. And then we had dealer fees on top of that. Yeah. Yeah, right. So we've taken a little look at some kind of dream models. And now I present my Tremor Lightning. And I know what you're thinking is like kind of basic or whatever, but that's because I don't know how to do renders. I could do Photoshop though. So here's the things that I added. And I mainly chose this one because I think it's something we could actually see. It's an appearance package that like wouldn't take a lot for Ford to do. It would just be adding like a little bit of like, you know, personality to the vehicle instead of some cookie cutter options. So of course I chose like a blue model and put us in the woods. I think it looks really cool. Here's what I added. So the Tremor has signature like orange lines. So I took those orange lines and I made them a blue electric color, as well as blue tow hooks, which I thought was pretty cool. Kind of stole that idea from the 4xEs that Jeep is making. At least I'm being honest. I stole it. I kept the grill of the Tremor, and because I like it. I think it looks pretty cool. I think they'd have to seal it up a little for aerodynamics, but you get the point here. You could just pretend it's sealed. And then, of course, we got to keep the light bar, so we got the light bar added on. But I kept kind of like the hood shape and like overall like body lines that the Tremor has, because I think that looks a little bit cooler than the Lightning. Although I think the reason that those kind of aesthetics don't exist on Lightning, again, go back to aerodynamics. So I think this one would look really cool. And of course, it's a little bit more lifted because of course this is a little more off-road worthy because it is the Tremor package. We got the big beefier all-terrain tires, but I kept the wheels of the upgraded XLT and the Lariat version of the Lightning because, again, aerodynamics, just trying to be realistic here. And this is what I came up with, and I would buy this in a heartbeat. And you know what? It's fun to dream. I had fun making this. I really think it's cool to do this kind of stuff. I don't know. But what was the point of this? Well, it's just to show us that, or remind myself at least, that we are just such at the beginning. Like, I'm trying to, I think, here's what it is. I think I've come to terms that I'm definitely just not going to get the first off the line 2022 model years of these Lightnings. So I'm looking forward to imaginary things that might happen once I can finally make an order. Like, you know, maybe some cool appearance packages or being able to customize it a little more. Like, they'll have all the kinks out. There'll probably be aftermarket parts that we'll be able to get. Us 2023 people, we're now our own subsect of Lightning buyers. And I think there's going to, well, there's some obvious benefits to that, right? Like I just said, there will be aftermarket parts. Maybe you could buy a Pro and then spend $200 to put a new grill with the light bar on it. I bet that's going to be one of the first things someone's going to come up with. It's easy money if they did that. I know all the Pro buyers would. Okay, not all, but I would buy one if I was getting the Pro, and then I could just spend a couple $100 to upgrade it to look a little cooler. Yeah, I'd probably do that. Oh, something else I did on this render is I kept the lower fog lights. I noticed that the Lightning, maybe it was just I don't know, it doesn't have that like mean lower look. And I think it's just, again, I think it just comes down to aerodynamics. They need to keep it smooth. How many times did I say aerodynamics in this video? It's probably annoying at this point. But hey, I think we can, you know, I'm going to be optimistic. I like that we have these kind of cool things that we could do. I'm going to be optimistic that we'll have some cool things we can do, you know, once the 2023 models roll through. So other than that, the last thing I'll say is that, well, Wave 4 should be happening this week. So that will be exciting. So look for that, maybe even, you know, Wednesday or Thursday. So the next couple days here, that would be pretty cool. Unfortunately, you'd have to exit our Cool Kids Club of the 2023 models, but I think it's worth it because you'd get it lightning faster. So anyways, I'm going to end the video here, and I appreciate everyone who watched this one. I'd love to know what you'd like to see. Did I miss some things? Like, what would, if you had to build your own, and if you guys suggest me stuff, how about this? You guys suggest what you want to see version of the Lightning, and I'll do my best to build whatever the coolest ones are in a future video. That might be fun. So, and I mean, I'm obviously not a pro at rendering, so I know that this isn't amazing by any means. But again, I had fun, and hopefully you got to play in dreamland with me today. So, thanks again, and I will see you guys very soon.